Monday Night Football, the final game of Wild Card Weekend, as the Dallas Cowboys travel to Tampa to take on the Buccaneers today. I got my favorite player prop, spread pick, and same game parlay coming your guys' way. What's going on? My name's Austin from Calling Our Shot. Welcome to our channel. If you're new, go down below, hit that subscribe button, drop a like too. Comment your favorite pick. Let me know who you think wins this game. I'll recap how all of our picks did for Wild Card Weekend next week. Although I do know Saturday's picks, we had two brutal beats. If you know, you know. Either way, we're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers. But this video is brought to you guys by Underdog Fantasy. If you're looking for a place to bet your player prop parlays, well, look no further. It's available in a ton of United States. And the best part is, if you sign up using our link, our code, COS, or the link down below, you get a 100% deposit match. I know I say it time and time again, but take advantage of it. If you deposit $25 using our code, you now got $50 to bet with. If you deposit $100, now you got $200. It's free money. Take advantage of it. The deposit match is up to $100. Look, let's dive into my favorite player props. It should be a great game. I'm going to start with this guy, a Dallas Cowboys running back, Mr. Ezekiel Elliott. I like his over, 12.5 rushing attempts, minus 122 on FanDuel. Now, I do expect this line to go up to 13.5, and honestly, probably play it up to 14.5. I was very surprised this line was this low, and right now, Underdog Fantasy has a line at 12.5, and then FanDuel has the 12.5 line as well. I believe PointsBet was at 13.5, and then we're going to wait for a couple other books, DraftKings, BetMGM, the Caesars. They'll all post a line. They're just waiting a little bit as I record this on Sunday afternoon. Now, let's talk about Elliott, obviously a Cowboys running back. He's going to split time with Tony Pollard, and Pollard's going to get his touches. His rushing attempts line is set around 10.5, 11.5. These guys are going to split work, but I do expect Zeke to get the goal-to-go carry, so when it's first and goal and like the two, Zeke's normally that guy, and he's going to get the touches on 3rd and 1s and stuff like that, because Zeke's more of a power back. Tony Pollard's more, I think I saw some article say dine and dash, because that's basically what it is. Ezekiel Elliott's kind of coming up the middle, Tony Pollard's going around the edges, kind of breaking those big runs, and you look at Elliott this year. Been great. 15 games this year, total 231 rush attempts. That's good for 15.4 per game. He's over this line in 13 of 15 games, a remarkable hit rate, which is why I was so surprised this was at 12.5. And I don't expect the Cowboys to suddenly go away from what made them, whatever 13-4 that they are this year, 12-5. Now you look at them, the two games he went under last week versus the Commanders and the week 1 against the Buccaneers. So he's had 13 straight weeks in the middle there where he hit the over. And sure, the Buccaneers beat up on the Cowboys in week 1, beat them 19-3. Elliott did have some success on the ground, had 10 carries for 52 yards. I just don't see the Cowboys getting smoked here. We've seen this Buccaneers team really struggle to put points up on the board. I think the Cowboys offense will be a little bit better than it was then. And you look at the Buccaneers also, the 6th lowest time of possession. Like I said, his team really has been struggling to continuously move the ball down the field. They're not like a team like the 49ers that typically go out there and could run off 8-9 minutes off the clock. It's a team that's really struggling. They're throwing it a lot. They don't get anything going on the ground. So a lot of their possessions could be 3 and outs, could be 1 first down, then they're punting it. And we see the Dallas have a couple extra possessions, and they're still going to use Ezekiel Elliott. You saw last postseason when we saw Dallas go in, and well, they were at home. They took on the 49ers. They did lose that game, but they entered the 4th quarter down 23-7. They ended up throwing the ball 43 times. Zeke ended on the hook, actually only had 12 carries in that game. I think this Dallas Cowboys offense is predicated on establishing the run and then trying to do some play action pass. If they're just going to have Dak Prescott drop back there and throw it 40 times, they're probably not going to win this game. So I think they're going to try to establish the run. This is a team that needs to be more balanced than not. I think Ezekiel Elliott will get at least 13 carries, hopefully 15. We'll see Pollard get his 10 to 12, and they'll try to run the ball 25 to 30 times. That's how the Cowboys have won this year. I don't anticipate them changing that on the road in Tampa Bay. So give me that to Mr. Ezekiel Elliott. I like him. I think he honestly should get 15 or more rush attempts. If he hits 13, probably a good chance he gets up to 15. So my player prop for this game, Ezekiel Elliott over 12.5 rush attempts. Like I said, you can play that up to 14.5. Now for my game pick, like I said, drop who you guys think is going to win this game down below if you want to take the spread or the money line. I'm going to go with the money line, and I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys on the money line, currently minus 140 on DraftKings. Now, yes, I'm laying a little bit of juice, but the NFL is dialed in on these spreads this late into the season. In fact, we were on the Chargers minus 2.5, and yeah, we didn't deserve what happened on Saturday night, but either way, when it got to the end of the game, the Jags went for 2, and the Chargers were potentially going to win by 2 and still not cover. So I'm going to lay the juice on the money line. Obviously, the Chargers end up losing that in a heroic, crazy fashion, historic fashion. But let's talk about this game a little bit more. I understand the argument for each side. You got people that want to say Tom Brady, the GOAT. I understand that. I'm on that same boat. They understand. I think everyone that is back in the Buccaneers, they got to say, well, they got Tom Brady. And look, you don't ever want to bet against him. However, if you bet against the Bucs this year, congrats, you're 12-4-1 against the spread. The Bucs have the worst against the spread record in the NFL, 4-12-1. And look, each of these teams have had their ups and downs. People see the Buccaneers, they've really stunk it up this year, but still made the playoffs because their division isn't that great. You got the Cowboys, who have been pretty good, pretty consistent this year, but they do have those games here and there where they don't look great. They like to do it on prime time sometimes, and they also have choked in the playoffs a large amount of the time. But I like the Cowboys haven't lost back-to-back games all year long. They lost last week against the Commanders. They're a perfect 4-0 against the spread after a loss, which we don't even care if they win against the spread. We just want them to win outright. And at the end of the day, I know you can look back to how they destroyed the Cowboys got destroyed by the Buccaneers in week 1, but these teams, 4 months have gone from since then to now, and I just don't think this Buccaneers team is as good as the Cowboys. The Cowboys have all the talent in the world. They got the defensive players. They got DeMarcus Lawrence, Micah Parsons, 2 guys you have to game plan for. They can absolutely wreck whatever the Bucs are trying to do offensively. And at the end of the day, I don't know if Tom Brady can just carry his team to victory. He's done it time and time again, but he's getting older, and we've seen this Buccaneers. They have no ground game. Historically, Tom Brady has at least had a rushing attack. They're averaging the fewest rushing yards per carry, fewest rushing yards per game. And I know Leonard Fournette stepped up last year in the postseason, but this offensive line has really struggled. And that's, I think, where it comes down to is that the Dallas Cowboys should be able to win in the trenches, at least on defense. Should be able to at least push around the Buccaneers defensive line as well. And we've seen the Buccaneers only scored 30 points twice this year. This team's really struggled. If this becomes a high-scoring game, I'd rather lean towards the Cowboys a little bit more. Like, they average the 25th most points per game in the NFL. It's like, what, 7th or 8th fewest? The Cowboys average the 4th most. Like, Brady and the Buccaneers, great team. Love Brady. He's been absolutely awesome to watch his whole career. Maybe this is his last game. I have no idea, but I can't back him. I watch way too much Buccaneers football to sit and put my money on them. I'll take the Cowboys. I know they've collapsed in the playoffs for the last couple of years, but I think they get it done here, or else Mike McCarthy might get fired. And I think, which always has potential, but give me the Cowboys on the money line. I'll lay the juice. Minus 140 on DraftKings, sure. I'll take a stab at it. Now, as for, obviously, if you want to bet the Buccaneers, go for it. Now, let's finally go into same game parlay time. 3 legs, plus 437. We're on FanDuel here. And this is what we got. The 2-star running backs, Leonard Fournette, Ezekiel Elliott, both to get a touchdown. And then I'll just take a Cowboys alternate spread at plus 14.5. I don't think the Cowboys lose by 15 or by two touchdowns. Now, obviously, we look at this team, even though I don't think the Buccaneers win this game, I think Leonard Fournette gets into the end zone. I think they're going to put up some points at least. And Fournette, if they get in at the goal line, he's probably going to be the guy to get it. Like I said, playoff Lenny has been great for him. I think he gets into the end zone. He's normally the guy to get it on 1st and goal on the 1 and stuff like that. And Leonard Fournette can also catch passes. They throw it to him as well. Rashad White's still there, but Fournette can get into the end zone. As for Ezekiel Elliott, maybe he's cooking. Maybe he's getting 20 rushing attempts, and he's going to get the goal line work. I certainly think he can fall his way into the end zone as well. He's, I think, 10 touchdowns on the year, despite missing 1 or 2 games in there. And then the Cowboys plus 14.5. I already talked about the Cowboys money line as my pick. I think 14.5 is enough safety here. Plus 437 on FanDuel, just worth a sprinkle on it, just for something extra to root for. You can throw on more legs if you want. There are a couple different alt rushing and receiving yards I definitely considered, but I don't really want to put them in here too much unless this is a weirdo game, which the NFL is weird, always. It's a Monday. You never really know what's going to go down. So my favorite pick, Ezekiel Elliott over in rush attempts, going with the Cowboys on the money line, and we'll sprinkle on that same game parlay. Again, shout out to Underdog for sponsoring the video. If you sign up for Underdog, be sure to use code COS so you get that 100% deposit match. There's also a link down below. You click the link, it should take you to Underdog and put in that promo code as well automatically. Appreciate you guys. My name's Austin. I'll be back again for another video. Who knows, for the NFL later on next week. And of course, you can check out all our NBA videos as well. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.